I think I need to say what we're all thinking. We made it. We're here. And I get to talk to you and you're not in your living rooms. It's very exciting. Welcome, everyone. We're glad you could make it. We are going to kick the evening off with some remarks from Dan Nicholson from GM.
Good evening, and welcome to the Autodrive Challenge 2 award ceremony. I'm Dan Nicholson from General Motors, and I'm a big enthusiastic supporter of the Autodrive Challenge. I know that you've done great things during Autodrive, and hopefully you've learned a lot. I'm so proud of all the teams and everything that you've accomplished during the Autodrive Challenge. I'd also like to thank all the other sponsors. Autodrive couldn't be done without all our sponsors working together, and I especially appreciate the excellent teamwork between SAE and General Motors to make this event happen. I hope you enjoy the evening and celebrate everything that you've done during the Autodrive Challenge. Thank you.
In my opinion, Autodrive is a progression, right, from level 1 to level 5. And what this event does is allow these students to engage at the right level and work on the progression towards level 5. First of all, it takes a whole bunch of students that are actually attending this event and teaches them the basics. Each one of these universities is engaged. They are taking this back. There are courses being built around this program. So for me, what is most important is not just the event and the competition itself, but the infrastructure that it's driving, that SA is helping to drive in the universities, that is going to have significant impact on the future of autonomous driving.
So it's good that we had this first year to learn how to be safe, to learn how to detect things consistently, and then we have the whole next year to implement everything together. And I think starting with the kart is a great idea. If we had to do vehicle dynamics at the same time, I'm not even sure how we could have done it.
It feels good to be just one of the 10 teams. It's an international competition, so it feels like we did something right getting selected, but it also means expectations are high and there's a lot of work to be done.
I've learned a lot about what a real kind of engineering, not necessarily job, but what you would actually be doing as an engineer. Just the problem solving, figuring out what your roles are and all that sort of stuff. That's what I'd say I got the most out of it.
We're building a system that we can reuse for future years, and additionally, all the different sensor modality is used to guarantee the safety of our perception system. At All Toronto, we hold the firm belief that building a safe autonomous vehicle is the #1 priority in this day and age, not just reducing the cost, but emphasize on safety.
The thing that stood out to me was the mix of hardware and software at the time, but now just autonomous vehicles. There's a lot happening in the space and a lot to do, and there's a lot of room for innovation and coming up with creative ideas.
So our perception card is called Ceres Polaris. Ceres as the Greek god of opportunity and luck. We're a small team, we're mostly undergrads. We could need some luck. And Polaris as we're the most northern team, as from the Upper Peninsula, Michigan, from like the middle of nowhere. We have kind of this theme of night spectacles and Greek gods that we try to follow. Ceres Polaris, we have this triangular shaped aurora-inspired theme. We have the Prometheus flame, which is the logo of our enterprise we're located in. Then we have the Houghton Lift Bridge, which is probably the only landmark typical to our area. The silhouette of campus, because that's beautiful.
This was exciting because we learned more about being aware of the details and being specific and being thoughtful. So this is a great experience.
Even though I work in cybersecurity and I'm a cybersecurity student, I think autonomous vehicles still have that aspect of cybersecurity. I do want to go into management as well, and being the program manager for my team, I think this has been a great experience getting hands-on tools and experiences with other individuals.
I've always wanted to be in a team where like I could actually do like hardware stuff, where I'd be able to like work with the machines, learn how to weld and do all that. With this, I'm able to learn all of those skills, and then I also get to teach that to other people, which is just a ton of fun to do.
Our team's full of people from engineering, computer sciences. It's such a great experience overall, and you're going to learn so much that's really important that you can take into the future of your career.
Come and you will not know anything at the beginning, and you won't know anything for a long time. But go to every meeting, go to every practice, read every research paper that you can, because the amount of things you will learn from an experience this challenging is unbelievable, and you meet a lot of great people along the way. So yeah, definitely commit as hard as you can.
So very thankful to the sponsors, especially to GM. I've met several of their coaches as well as the head coach. It's amazing the level of dedication they have, the amount of time that they put in. And it's really great that a lot of the team coaches are actually graduates of other SAE programs like Baja and so on and so forth. So they bring a lot of knowledge and passion in addition to their current roles and what they can teach. And when I look at the teams working on their cards, there are LiDARs that sponsors have provided, there are GPS units, computers, software, what have you. And something like this would never happen without the active participation and the generosity of our sponsors. So special shout out and thanks to them. And I just love being around young people. The energy that they bring, the passion that they bring, the focus that they bring to what they're doing, it just makes me happy, and I feel like our future is in very good hands.
All right, what'd you think? All right, good evening, everyone. For those I haven't met, I'm Zach Pace, and I'm the Autodrive Challenge 2 Program Manager for SAE International. I imagine I've met most of you. It's my honor to be here celebrating your accomplishments for year one. What started as a bright idea between several minds at General Motors and SAE International has evolved into a truly outstanding program at the forefront of innovation and development in autonomous driving. And that's thanks in large part to you. I thank each and every one of you for participating and helping to make Autodrive what it is. We would not be here without you and your exceptional engagement. For over 35 years, SAE International has been at the forefront of STEM education in partnership with industry. Since the inception of our programs like A World in Motion, the Collegiate Design Series, and the Emerging Technology Series, we have aimed to provide integrated learning experiences for students as young as preschool through the collegiate experience, while keeping a keen focus on engineering design through age-appropriate learning. Our programs continue to grow each year as the needs of pre-K through 12, academia, and industry continue to mature. This is especially true for our university offerings. SAE's university programs engage teams from the top engineering degree granting universities as ranked by ASEE's Profiles of Engineering and Technology Degree Colleges. Many universities participate in multiple SAE university programs. That's all of you. In short, we strive to create programs which go beyond just informing students, telling them things they might remember. And instead, we wish for our programs to immerse students in the total concept of learning. We want to create a hands-on learning environment to prepare each student for the next phase of their academic and professional journey. The accomplishments we are here to celebrate tonight are exactly this. An example of how our student participants have engaged in hands-on and innovative ways to surmount challenges and demonstrate mastery of concepts of which we should all be quite proud. Now let's talk about Autodrive. Autodrive is unique in many ways. It is our only program at SAE where we get to work with our teams over the course of multiple years, which provides opportunities to engage and learn longitudinally. In year one, the challenges being designed around the perception cart have enabled your teams to hone the skills we deem critical to your success once the donated vehicle comes into play. In addition to our dynamic challenges, our static events have enabled teams to begin long-term planning. If you've talked to me or Andy, we love a plan, and we want you to as well. We're here to celebrate this great work and to recognize those teams who have demonstrated exceptional mastery in what we can all agree is a challenging and fast-moving space. The work we're celebrating here tonight is truly outstanding and would not be possible without the generous support from our many partners. In the crowd tonight, we have representatives from our sponsors, many of whom have dedicated tremendous resources to provide teams with hardware, software, and technical support in order to be successful. Volunteers from General Motors and other organizations who have contributed countless hours to developing the rule set which guides you, as well as the mentors who are your points of contact in your entry to GM, and your faculty advisors who tolerate a lot of emails from me, especially as we traverse the annual schedule that we have each year. It takes a village, folks, and ours here at Autodrive is second to none. I speak for many people here when I say we are proud of your work and we're thrilled to be presenting awards tonight. Before we get much further, I need to say a few thank yous. First, Susie Merton is the reason we're all in this beautiful facility eating a lovely meal. She will kill me for this. But she's the glue that holds me together, and a lot of the creature comforts that you've been thanking me for were really aimed towards Susie, so thank you again. Brett, who's here to support as well, DES, Spencer, all the folks on my team. I get a lot of credit, and they're the ones who deserve it. So thank you to them, and then thank you to the event staff here who are, bringing us meals and serving us and just, making this beautiful event possible. All right. With that said, I'd now like to relinquish the microphone to my partner in crime, Andy McCoy from General Motors, who will be your MC for the evening.
All right. As you get your food, please eat. It's not going to get any warmer. So, first of all, I would really also like to thank all of our General Motors volunteers who gave up weeks of their lives in our various get-togethers for winter workshop, for fall kickoff, and for the June competition. As I like to say, I'm the only person at General Motors that this is my actual job. Everyone else is trying to protect their own job and keep that at bay while they attend to Autodrive. Now, for all our teams, you're going to be going back to your schools. You're going to be doing some very important work this fall, and that's recruiting. You're going to be losing members. You're going to be gaining new members. So start getting your stories ready to recruit those young engineers. Now, I will tell you, I know exactly what my friends at Penn State are going to be saying. They're going to be telling the legend of Ross and what happened and how much he giggled when he discovered the sport mode on the Bolt and exactly the strange noises that the tires make just as they're about to break traction. On that same note, our friends at Virginia Tech, you're going to have it to explain to the new engineering team members that you recruit. You're going to have to explain to them that they will have to wait till next June to understand Xavier's I Heart Zingerman's tattoo. And at the same, Late night coding sessions. You will explain to those new team members that there's only one remedy for late night coding sessions, and that is to stumble over to the Bear Claw coffee truck. Ask for a quad shot with a dash of caramel, and don't forget the whipped cream. So that's the only way you're going to get both eyes open. Remember those, replenish your ranks, make all your teams bigger and better every year. So let's get to the presentation of awards, if we shall. I have the pleasure of recognizing our teams who rose to the top in each of the areas of competition. To begin, we'll recognize our winners in static reports. In year one, teams submitted reports for system, safety, and technical reports, mobility innovation, and the 000 challenge, the concept design report and software requirement specification, and in project management, which should be properly named project leadership. If you have any questions about that, ask me later and I'll point you to a very good source on the topic. For year one in system safety and tech reports, teams submitted their safety concept, a preliminary hazard analysis, and a single element fault analysis. Safety is the utmost importance as we forge new paths in autonomous driving. We appreciate the hard work of your teams put into ensuring it was considered at every level of your design. So in third place, we recognize Penn State University. In second place, we recognize The Ohio State University. In first place, we recognize the University of Toronto.
Krishna is our system safety lead. Unfortunately, due to visa issue, he cannot be here, so I'll be taking the placard on his behalf. And whenever the live stream camera is, Krishna, you did great.
Good on. In the Year 1 Mobility Innovation and 000 Challenge, we asked teams to consider how they would propose innovation within the space of autonomous driving. In an inherently innovative sphere of engineering, the work produced by your teams was truly outstanding. In third place, we recognize Michigan Tech. In second place, we recognize Penn State. In first place, we recognize University of Toronto. In the Year 1 Concept Design Report, teams were asked to focus on how they design solutions for their perception cards. We anticipate your design will evolve as we later introduce the donation vehicle. And the decision-making documented here should play a role as you move forward in the competition. In third place, we recognize North Carolina A&T. In second place, we recognize Michigan Tech. Same team, same shirt. In first place, we recognize Penn State. We skipped one? Okay. Okay. New to Autodrive Challenge 2, we asked each team to engage at a high level with project management. Project management is a way to encourage teams to use tools like Gantt chart, work breakdown structures to better manage and execute their plans. In third place, we recognize University of Wisconsin-Madison. In second place, we recognize The Ohio State University. In first place, we recognize the University of Toronto. Congratulations to our report winners. In addition to these reports, teams also competed in several presentations to share their work with our judges. We will now recognize our winners for the MathWorks Simulation Challenge and the Concept Design event. In the Year 1 MathWorks Simulation Challenge, teams were expected to demonstrate simulation of traffic signals and sign interactions and collision avoidance, as well as test-generated code with simulation, demonstrate innovation within their simulation, and to reflect their use of MathWorks tools. In third place, we recognize The Ohio State University. In second place, we recognize Texas A&M University. They're not here tonight, so we'll put their award in a FedEx box.
And they're on the live stream.
In first place, we recognize the University of Toronto. We also held the Concept Design event earlier this week. In this year's Concept Design event, teams were tasked with presenting their perception cart design in a TED Talk format. We wanted to hear what your team did and be taken on a journey, a quick one. TED Talks go pretty quick. In third place, we recognize Michigan Tech. In second place, we recognize Penn State. In first place, we recognize the University of Toronto. Congratulations to our static event award winners. We'll now transition to awarding our dynamic events. From June 6th through 10th, teams competed in our dynamic challenges. In year one, this consisted of traffic light challenge, highway lane challenge, and dynamic obstacle challenge, also known as the Andy Drives a Lot challenge.
I'm just making sure it's correct.
All three of these challenges tasked teams with demonstrating their ability to perceive real-world objects which will be encountered in future years' dynamic events. In the traffic light challenge, teams were stationed at the entrance of multiple intersections at M City, and they were expected to identify the state of the traffic lights at the intersection and any roads leading out of the intersection. In third place, we recognize Penn State. In second place, we recognize our live stream friends at the Texas A&M University. In first place, we recognize the University of Toronto. In the Highway Lane Challenge, carts were positioned at several locations along the straightaway at M City. In these locations, teams were expected to identify the host lane, the speed limit based upon the closest speed limit sign, the distance to the speed limit sign, and any blocked lanes. In third place, we recognize Virginia Tech. In second place, we recognize the University of Toronto. In first place, we recognize Texas A&M University. In the Dynamic Obstacle Challenge, teams were tasked with identifying moving obstacles. We had 3 targets: a pedestrian, a deer, and for the first time, a moving vehicle. The direction of travel, relative velocity, real velocity, and distance of the vehicle were all to be determined. In third place, we recognize the Ohio State University. In second place, we recognize Penn State. In first place, we recognize the University of Toronto. Good to go, Zach? Yep. Okay. Before I turn over the microphone to our guest announcing the overall winners, I'd also like to take some time for First in Autodrive, the Advisor of the Year Award. As part of the Autodrive Challenge 2, we introduced site visits to your institutions. We weren't able to make it all to you this year, but part of where this came from is to recognize the partnership General Motors and SAE have with your institutions. and to get a better idea of how each of your programs run. We know firsthand the advisors in this room, as well as those who couldn't be here tonight, and they're all doing tremendous work to support your team's success. The winner of this year's Advisor of the Year Award demonstrates an unparalleled commitment to student success. This person's passion for student learning is contagious, and their care for students' well-being informs every aspect of their approach to their individual definition of student success. We're thrilled to present the inaugural Advisor of the Year Award to Dr. Diane Peters from Kettering University. Congratulations, Diane. I would now like to turn over the microphone to Gary Bandersky from General Motors, who will recognize our overall winners for year one.
So it's written that I just announced the winners, but before I do, I'd like to say the following. Congratulations for all of you being here and all the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into this year's competition. In GM speak, we consider you Bobs, best of the best. And it was well-earned, well-deserved. I understand there were numerous universities that wanted to be part of this competition. You were targeted, you were selected, and you earned it. Congratulations all. In third place, Michigan Tech. What's that? The static events. Static events, okay, I'm sorry.
Yep, no, we'll get to that part too.
Second place, The Ohio State University. In winning the static portion of the competition, the University of Toronto. Now we'll move into the Dynamic Awards. In third place, Penn State University. In second place, Texas A&M. And the overall winner in the Dynamics Awards, University of Toronto. And finally, the overall Year 1 awards, combining the total score for all the portions of the competition. Third place, Texas A&M. Second place, The Ohio State University. And finally, the overall Year 1 winners for the Autodrive Challenge 2 is the University of Toronto. So congratulations to all of our winners. And as far as I'm concerned, you all are winners. Well done. Give yourself a round of applause. So good evening. I'm Gary Bandursky, and I'm fortunate enough to lead General Motors' Global Electronic Components and Subsystems team, or GECS for short. And to connect the dots in here, GECS is part of Dan Nicholson's organization. You saw him on tape earlier. And based on what we do within GECS, you'll see it's a natural to have Andy McCoy, our Autodrive program leader, as a key member of our team. So, what's the connection between GECS and Autodrive? One of the many deliverables that GECS does is the innovation and technology development for ADAS, active safety, automated driving, and autonomous driving features. We develop and we fuse sensor suites, ultrasonics, cameras, radars, LiDAR, and we develop the required compute to either perceive or support perception, enabling today's exciting customer features that we offer, such as collision imminent braking, lane keep assist, active cruise control, automated cruise control, adaptive cruise control, side blind zone alert, surround view, driver monitoring systems, advanced park assist, super cruise. The cruise automation level 4 vehicles that you saw we recently announced are now running on the streets of San Francisco, and soon to be released shortly, Ultra Cruise, just to name a few. So I can easily emphasize and empathize with your Year 1 experience, because we live that every single day in our world. I'll begin Year 1 closing remarks with some questions. So please reflect, and this is a time for audience participation. Did you have fun? It's been this week I've had an opportunity to interface with some of you, but what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've watched, what I've witnessed, I think you did. Did you grow as a pioneer, an innovator, a teammate, and a person? Did you learn? Did you teach? Do you have any regrets? So using this definition of a mistake as having to learn the same thing multiple times, do you make any mistakes? Yes? Ooh, you're going to have to fix that quickly. So I propose to you that what matters most from your year one experience is what you've learned and the friendships that you've established. I appreciate those of you who have engaged in conversation with me this past week, sharing your learnings. As a token of my appreciation, I will share with you all those learnings that I heard from you in the hopes that you'll not make a mistake and repeat them in year two. It's key to be agile and adaptive. Explore all options. But remember, know when it's time to lock down and move forward. Use the available resources. As you saw, there were gracious sponsors that want nothing more than your success, and they've been generous with their expertise. Some of the best in the business, we're here to support you. Take advantage of it. The importance of benchmarking. Use what works, and certainly don't invent something if you don't have to. Procrastination is deadly. You never recover. At that point in time, it's the best you can do. So please don't procrastinate. Put the heat on yourself in the very, very beginning. And the best thing that can happen is the last week of one of these competitions is boring for you because you've got all your work done. Integration is hard. Yes, it is. And adopt the approach of continuous integration and continuous delivery. It will help. If you take a waterfall approach and think everything's going to come together at the end, good luck. And we probably should have done a better job planning for team attrition. Get used to it. The workforce is dynamic. And as you continue to move on into bigger organizations, people are changing continuously. Reflect on the knowledge that you lost because somebody left, graduated, moved on. What did you put in place to make sure that you captured that information so that you can use it? Or what information are you going to leave for the people that come after you? So after decades in the auto industry, and I've earned advanced degrees primarily from the School of Hard Knocks and making a lot of mistakes, I say yes 1,000 times to those epiphanies of learnings that you shared with me. They're all real, they're all true. And to help you further as you plan ahead and move into year two, which begins in a few hours and promises to be more challenging, I offer you the following. Truth will always come home with the parts and the systems that you develop. You will never be able to trick the laws of physics. Your parts will perform how you design, analyze, manufacturing, and integrate them. Unfortunately, sometimes it may not be to your intent, so make sure that it meets your intent. Use data correctly, effectively, and efficiently. In today's world, with the Internet of Things, just about anything that you ever need is out there. The winners are the ones that are able to use it and use it effectively. But please don't become data rich and knowledge poor. Decide when the time is to cut bait and move. Take the data that you have, go with the knowledge that you think, the gut feel, and sometimes roll the dice and go. Create value. Make sure that everything that you do matters. Understand and nail, get it, the MVP. And by that is minimum viable product. Whatever your mission is to do at a bare minimum, get it and get it right. Now, so, if you're put up to bat for the team and they ask you to hit a single and you're thinking home run, well, hit the single first and then go after the home run. It doesn't do any good to reach for the stars if you don't get that minimum viable product. Never stop learning or teaching. As we talked before, don't relearn your lessons, because at that point in time, they're not really lessons for you that you learned. They're lessons that you didn't learn, and those equal mistakes. Remember that timing is sacred, and there's no such thing as a recovery plan. If you don't get it right the first time, at that point in time, it's the best you can do plan. Always take a business approach to what you do. Your inventors, your engineers, your pioneers. But if you can't turn it into reality, if you don't understand all the parts of the business that you impact, the product that you make will never, ever be as good as it could have been. Personalize the impact of the results from a customer's point of view. Think about it. As you progress, you're going to produce product that are going to touch millions of lives. And will those be excitement that you bring into those people's lives? Or will it be frustration and potentially something worse? Always have the end in mind. Make the customer at the center of everything that you do. Love what you do based on whatever criteria you want to establish. I ran some numbers one time because I was sitting around, had nothing to do, and was thinking about it. If you run the laws of average, life expectancy, when you finish school, how long you work, the number of hours you work during the day, how much you sleep, blah, blah, blah. From the time that you're 20 till you're 62 years old, you will spend more than 50% of your time in what you call your job or your work. Make sure it's your passion, because if you don't love what you do for work, you're going to have a hard time loving life. Capture the power of diversity. You and your product will never be as good as it could be if you don't capture diversity. Diversity of the background of the individuals in your team, their thoughts, their input, their experiences. I know in my world it's primarily electronics, software, things of that nature, but you name it, we are peppered with disciplines all across the board, and we are a much better and stronger team because we have mechanical engineers, because we have manufacturing engineers, all part of this team, and so forth and so on. I'm almost done. Never forget, today's success does not guarantee tomorrow's. Everything must be earned. And regardless how you finished in year one, the good news is you're all starting from the same point in year two after midnight tonight. So finally, if you share a vision of 0 crashes, 0 emissions, 0 congestion, and believe in a vision to pioneer, or a mission to pioneer the innovations that safely move and connect people to what matters, then I would love to see you part of the GM family, because that's what we're all about. All the best to you in year 2. Congratulations, and thank you.
All right, that does conclude our program for the night. I think, do we have dessert coming, Susie? So sit tight, enjoy. What was that? There is a dessert station. So enjoy, hang around, enjoy celebrating your accomplishments. We're very proud of you. A few more shout outs as I look around the room. Alex Rath ran the course beautifully. his partner in crime, Jen Bird, was a great help too. My team, DES, Mike, Beth, Dave, who can't be here tonight, Spencer, who was working on your scores up until about 12 minutes ago. We are surrounded by great people. Mike Sorg, who we almost never talk about, who's running the live stream and the AV, who is a staple at CDS and an ETS. He's been great. And then Katie, our photographer. We have some great people behind the scenes with this, and they really owe some gratitude. Dan Meza, our event captain for Mobility Innovation 000. GM mentors, everybody. The people here are amazing, and we wouldn't be here without them. So we celebrate you, and we celebrate them too. We celebrate everyone. Yeah.